just for filling out applications for jobs.
Well, I never liked math. I hated it.
I would look at the word and think, trying to sound it out in my head, but I didn't know what it meant.
I can't work with my hands anymore, so now what do I
do? Today in Canada, almost 4 out of every 10 adults don't have adequate reading, writing, and math skills to live life to its fullest. Because of personal and family difficulties or learning disabilities that went undetected in school, many adults don't have basic literacy skills. Often, these adults learn coping skills that allow them to move through life with no one knowing their hidden challenge. Unfortunately, because solid literacy skills are often necessary to find and to advance in employment, adults with challenges in reading, writing, and math are frequently limited to low-income jobs and struggle to fulfill their personal potential.
I started out my life in Children's Aid, going from home to home. In these homes I didn't go to school much. I maybe did grade 3, grade 7, grade 9, and just couldn't get any of the schools. And then when I was 16 I decided it was time for me to leave the Children's Aid and go on my own. Big mistake, but I thought I knew everything. So I decided to start working. My first job was for $3.77 an hour at a woolen mills, and went on there to work in carnies and do deliveries, and most I've ever made was $10 an hour. When I tried to read books, I'd skip over parts, and couldn't find out what the word was because I couldn't use a dictionary because I didn't know how that worked, and so I would just skip over, and I couldn't understand what the stories were telling. So after a while I stopped reading quite a bit. I wouldn't even read the paper except for a sports section maybe. I got by not knowing how to read by getting other people to fill out applications or health forms or stuff like that, and then I'd take them back to the jobs, and they wouldn't know what I did. A lot of people, that's what they were doing, and it seemed the easiest way to get through it. Later on, when I got married, I'd bring the forms home, and I would get my wife to help me fill them out and then take them back. She got kind of leery at doing that after a while, but she still did it for me.
At 17, I became pregnant with my first son, and it was I just wanted to stay at home with him. Then at 19, I had another one. So by the time I was 24, it just seemed to get harder to go to back to school. So I just decided to stay at home and raise my kids. I was happy with that decision, what I made, but as they got older and they started school, it was still hard for me to get a good job that would allow me to make the money to support my children.
But there is help available to people with literacy challenges. Throughout Chatham-Kent, Sarnia-Lambton, and Windsor-Essex, there are upgrading programs available free of charge that can help adults improve their reading, writing, and math skills. These programs are tailored to the needs of the learner, no matter what his or her skill level is. Adults take these classes and tutoring sessions because they want to get a better job, to increase their education, or simply to become more independent and speak their own mind. Led by compassionate, skilled instructors, these upgrading classes are places of encouragement and personalized education. Adults learn at their own pace. They learn about things they care about. Classes are comfortable, low-key, and small in size, so learners get the attention and personalized training that will really make a difference.
I went to the Adult Learning Center in Sarnia, and then I moved to Wallaceburg, and I didn't think there was one here. So I just happened to be walking by the Rotary Club and happened to notice this sign, so I went up and I read the sign. It was like, wow, they do have one here. So I went in and I met Joanne, and she was awesome. I felt really sick to my stomach. I was really nervous, but she put me at ease. She's like, everything will be all right. She introduced me to everyone, and we went and we did the evaluation. And when we were done the evaluation, she told me I could come back tomorrow and start that very next day. So that's what I did. And I was still kind of nervous the first day because I didn't know anybody and I was shy, so I would just sit by myself and then eventually people just come up and introduce themselves, and it was like really, really nice. It was like nothing like high school at all. People were friendly. I mean, you could go for a break, come back, sit down, do your work. It was just, I don't know, it was like more like home than anything, because you didn't have that pressure. As a kid, you have that pressure, and going back to school as an adult, you don't have that pressure.
The first day I started, it was scary. I thought that I was going to be by myself and that I wouldn't be able to learn it. But once I got into it and found that the teachers were helpful, that they would find out if you couldn't learn one way, they'd find out another way to teach you. The other students that I went to school were great. One youngster that went there, he was about 24, and I wasn't very good in English, and he wasn't very good in math, so I was good in math and he was good in English, so we traded off, and his level went up and so did mine. As I was going, with the teachers saying I could do it and with my wife saying I could do it, I just progressed more and more, and finally decided I would go to college. And now I'm in the machine shop and taking CAD/CAM and CNC and metal cutting and having fun doing it.
My kids they're like really, really proud of me. They tell their friends, they've told their teachers that, wow, my mom's gone back to school, she's getting her grade 12. They're just really, really happy for me. And I'm happy that they're staying in school, and that knowing that mom's gone back to school after being out of school for like 20-some years. It's just so wonderful to see them sticking to it and knowing that in life you need to get your education. You need to get it, because without that education, you're not going to get a good job. On July 12th last year, I started as a cashier, and I was there for about 2 weeks, and the manager came up to me and asked me if I'd like to be supervisor. So I was like, okay. And then I went from being supervisor to now being assistant manager. And it's really rewarding. I feel better about myself. I see my kids are proud of me. My spouse is proud. It's just so wonderful.
These are just 2 success stories. Students of the Adult Upgrading Program have gone on to report many other personal successes, like finding a better job, passing a driver's test, or simply reading to their kids. Everybody has a different success story, something that is important to them. But the key is that each person made the first step to ask for help, and they are now living a freer and fuller life.
Now that I can read more, I can read books faster. I enjoy the books, and it's made me feel 100% better. I can read a story and understand what they're going to say, and I can tell other people about the story.
If someone says to me that they're really nervous about going back to school, I just tell them, just take it one day at a time, go in, look around. What do you have to lose? Nothing. Just go for it.
There are free programs available in your community for anyone who could benefit from upgrading their skills, and participants may qualify for help with childcare and transportation costs. If you have trouble with reading, writing, or math, look under Learn in the Yellow Pages.